All right. All right, what's up, y'all? So, today I want to talk a little bit about Cam Akers, our running back, our starting running back, or rather, was our starting running back. And you all know who he is. Very talented running back out of FSU. He played very well behind a decimated O line there. He got drafted, played great for us the first year. Got unfortunately tore his ACL in the off season of before the beginning of last year, and and to be quite honest, surprisingly, actually came back to play in the playoffs in our Super Bowl run, in which he played very well against the Arizona Cardinals. He was hitting, he was running, he looked very, very good. I was very pleased with his performance. He looked great. Unfortunately, the next few games against the Bucks, the 49ers, and in the Super Bowl, the Bengals, he was pretty much non-existent. Now, it was not all his fault. It wasn't. But he does shoulder some of the blame, okay? And as a result, a lot of us, including myself, were very high on him and expected a big year out of him. And could that have been some wishful thinking on my part and the part of a lot of fans? Maybe so. Maybe so. Considering the state of our O-line, things did not help. We had people retire. That's not a shot at them. It is what it is. Some people retired. Some people we lost in free agency. And a lot of people were injured, including our first pick in the draft, Logan Bruss, which I feel could have helped a lot. Especially now. We really could have used them right now. But he's gone for the year, so it is what it is. And as a result, Cam has been struggling quite a bit this year through the first half of the season. And there was some news. Apparently, there was a bit of a riff. He did not agree with some of the decisions that Sean has been making in terms of how he wants to apply him to the offense. Apparently, there was some sort of argument, or several arguments, and the Rams they both came to a decision that maybe it was best that they split up, and the Rams were going to try to trade him away, which was kind of surprising. And well, I've always been of the mindset, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. And I just feel like players who don't want to be here, it's best to not have them on the team. It's just better to get everyone a fresh start. It doesn't specifically say exactly what it was, but obviously they weren't getting along, and the Rams went and it looked like they were going to try to trade him to another team. Maybe get some picks, maybe trade for another player, whatever. Well, as you can see here, the Rams declined. The Rams declined multiple offers for Cam Akers and want him to play for them again. How interesting is this? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And the Rams attempted to trade Cam Akers for 2 weeks, but were unable to before Tuesday's trade deadline. It wasn't that no one was interested. However, the Rams just didn't get a good enough offer for them to give up the former second-round pick. And according to Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network, the Rams turned down multiple offers for Akers, and they're now working with his agent in hopes that Akers will play for them again this season. And here is the tweet. The Rams turned down multiple offers for running back Cam Akers before Tuesday's trade deadline, and now are working with Akers' agent in hopes he'll play for them again this season. Akers has been inactive the past 2 games for what the team has called personal reasons. Okay. Akers, on the other hand, is hoping for a quote-unquote fair resolution to the situation after the Rams opted not to trade him before the deadline. He doesn't believe playing for the team again this season is in his best interest. Doing a little bit of spoilers there. In his best interest, suggesting he wants to move on and get a fresh start. Throughout the entire process, Sean has said he wouldn't rule out Akers returning and playing for the Rams again, but the two sides don't appear to be seeing eye to eye. Now, this is true. This is true. The thing is, Sean has said that he wouldn't rule out trading for Cam. A lot of that has to do with the fact that everyone and their mothers in the NFL knew that the Rams and Cam Akers had decided to part ways. And as a result, it would appear they did not get a whole lot of leverage in their trades, because what I think is happening here is the Rams got offers for Akers, but these teams were probably offering them pennies. And I got to tell you something, and maybe in another video I'll talk about, what happened with Brian Burns and how the Rams offered 2 first-round picks, which I did not like at all. And I think I'll make another video with that, because that was some. I'm glad that did not go through. And what I see here is teams were basically reaching in their pockets. Okay, the other teams were reaching in their pockets. They were pulling out some pennies and dimes, and they were throwing them on the ground. They were saying, "Hey, Les, pick that up, and there, that's for you. That's for you. Let us have Cam Akers. Okay, give us Cam Akers in here. Let me get in my pocket. I'm gonna throw that down on the sidewalk. You pick that up." You know what I say to that? Hell no. Hell no. And that's what I think is going on here. I think a lot of teams lowballed the Rams, and the Rams basically said, no, Cam Akers is very talented, because he is, despite him not playing so well as of late. But you should get good compensation for Cam. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like what you should get for him. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But it damn sure ain't like a 6th rounder and a ham sandwich. Okay? It's more than that. So, what does this mean? This means Cam Akers is still on the team. And well, let's go ahead and transition, shall we, to the second part of this talk, which my computer tried to spoil for us. Sean McVay is very encouraged by the talks with Cam Akers, and the running back could be at practice this week. How about that? Let's go ahead and jump into this. Cam Akers hasn't played in the Rams' last 2 games, as the team tried to trade him before Tuesday's deadline. After being unable to move the disgruntled running back, his future in Los Angeles remains uncertain. Sean provided somewhat of an update on Wednesday. Says he is quote-unquote, let me highlight this, very encouraged with the dialogue he had with Akers and his agent, David Molugeta. I apologize if I get that wrong. I'm a bit of an idiot when it comes to names. So that is Cam Akers' agent, Mr. Molugeta. McVay and Akers also spoke Wednesday morning and had a quote-unquote good conversation where the running back told McVay he wants to be part of the Rams. Okay? Now, let's all take this with a bit of salt. Okay? Grain of salt. But let me just finish up here, and I'll kind of get my thoughts on the whole situation. Here's a quote. With the Cam situation, we talked about a couple different options. Want to give him an opportunity to weigh that with his family and with his representation, and that we'll circle back later on this afternoon and see what the next move is. Whether that's continuing to move forward with the Rams, or if you explore giving him the opportunity to be able to see what that looks like with another team. The first option is let's try to exhaust all measures as it relates to the Rams, and if we're all kind of in alignment with what we think is the best way to move forward, we'd like to be able to do that. If not, then out of respect for both parties, we'll make that decision afterwards. That doesn't mean he will remain with the Rams. McVay said the team and Akers are working through options, whether that's by keeping him on the roster or giving him a chance to play elsewhere. McVay said it's a possibility when it asked if Akers could be released by the team. But obviously the trade deadline has passed, so probably not going to. This most certainly not going to happen. Sean said he's very encouraged with the dialogue, as we were just talking about, between the Rams, Cam Akers, and his agent. No more of an update than that. Unlike last week when Akers was ruled out for the Rams game against the 49ers early on, the door on him playing Sunday against the Bucs isn't shut yet. McVay said Akers will practice this. Well, it is possible Akers will practice this week and has not yet been ruled out for Week 9, which is against the Bucs. McVay expects to have further clarity on the situation Thursday, so that's tomorrow, at the time of recording, after Akers goes over his options with his family today. So basically, okay, so real quick, it sounds like McVay, the Rams and Akers' agent has been in talks, and McVay talked to Cam Akers. It sounds like they had a good talk, and now Cam Akers is basically just talking over things with his family, and we are awaiting to see what's going to happen after that. That seems to be what's going on right now. And there's Andrew Siciliano, and basically, like we were just saying, will Akers practice this week? Yeah, there's a possibility of that, but McVay is not ready to say that Akers will play for the Rams Sunday. If Akers does return to the Rams, it's hard to see him taking back the starting role in the backfield. Darrell and Ronnie Rivers handled the bulk of the carries last week, and Kyren Williams is working his way back. That could be part of the reason Akers is unhappy with his role. And that's and I would have to agree with that. You know, my whole thing is, here's the thing. If you're, I don't know exactly why they got into an argument. Clearly it was how he was being used in the offense in some form or fashion. But the trade deadline has passed. Cam is not going anywhere. Okay? And if I'm the Rams, don't just release him. That would be a dumb move. All right? Keep him on the staff. Okay? You got like the back half of the season to go. Why not, for both parties, why not try to just work things out? Just kind of say, you know what? Let's try to get through this last season, and if you still feel a certain kind of way, Cam, we can maybe try to get you out of here after the season is over. You know, when there isn't so much chaos going on. But personally, I'm very happy to hear this, because we need we need to find a way to get our running game going somehow, some way. Okay, and the more weapons at the running back position, the better. And, you know, it's just one of those things where it's just wait and see. I'd like to have him back. He is a talented player, though he will need to improve, because it kind of looked like he was sandbagging it a little bit. It looked like he was pouting a little bit in his performance, especially that last game. What was it, the Cowboys, where he was just missing holes all over the place? Like, you're going to have to get over that, Cam, if you're pouting, all right? You're not going anywhere. They're not going to get rid of you, so you might as well try to make it work, okay? If there's someone you don't like at work, at least try to be cordial about it and just try to do your job and just clock in, clock out. Who knows, maybe could work something out during the back half of this season here. I don't know. But interesting development here. This is something I'll keep my eye on, but we'll see what happens there. But I just want to end this video really quick, saying sorry to Sean here. His grandfather and former 49ers GM John McVay dies at the age of 91. 91's a pretty good run. It is unfortunate that this happened. He was basically he was involved with the 49ers dynasty and he's won 5 Super Bowls, and he was basically in a front office role. He was like the general manager, and I think he was like what was he like in the front? He was in a front office role. He even was named NFL Executive of the Year in 1989, which is pretty cool. He's a member of the 49ers Hall of Fame, and the 49ers dedicated their draft war room to him, naming it the John McVay Draft Room at their headquarters in 2016. See, that I did not know that. That's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool on the 49ers. Here it is. Here's the man right here. The Rams are saddened by the passing of Johnny McVay. His legacy will never be forgotten. So, rest in peace, Mr. McVay. It's unfortunate when these things happen, so I won't spend too much time on it. I do not know the man. It's not my business, so just wanted to say sorry to Sean. So, anyway, that's going to be it for now. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And as always, go Rams.